All right. So today I am here to make an audio reactive music video. But as always, I'm gonna go ahead and send out the stream. So I'm gonna show you. While I do that, I'll play the song that we're gonna be using for our music video today. This was actually something that came or kind of came to me out of a conversation I had, and I was trying to, I guess, experiment with arranging. So I just kind of wrote up a quick lyrical idea, and then through just recorded that to a metronome, and then kind of built a track out of that. And I thought it was pretty all right. I thought it would be fun to do a music video in a similar vein to my newest music video, Schizo Posting on Main. I guess this is sort of a how-to on that, but a new take on it. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna play this for you guys and send out the stream. I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see, I wanna know the name, I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see, I wanna know the name, I wanna know. I'm shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm waking up, shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm waking up, shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm feeling euphoric, the light, I'm on dark, my jump in the groups I like. I'm waking up, shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm waking up, shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm waking up, shutting my mind, here's a decline, I thought he'd make a fight. I'm feeling euphoric, the light, I'm my own dog, and I jump in the hoops I like. See their face, I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see, I wanna know the name, I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see their face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see, I wanna know the name, I wanna know. Waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm feeling euphoric, the light, I'm my own dog, I'm jumping the hoops I like. Waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm waking up shit in my mind, here's a decline, like 30 of me could fight. I'm feeling euphoric, the light, I'm my own dog, I jump in the hoops I like. Bring up the sky, then particle dust, birdie decay from the finest decay. It's all in a ray, my finest design, but you could come be with these ghosts in the room. Pack up my thoughts, leave them at home. I'm a big man and I'm living the road, but home is alone. Each sound it echoes, and home is for talks that have yet to unfold. See what I saw what it is. I'm choking on things that I already know. I'm taking a road, a path never traveled, frosted with things that will make all the difference. God is my witness, look at the things that I won't ever finish. Okay, so now that's what the song sounds like. So the idea for the music video is basically we have this kind of more static background that we're going to use, and then using the drums we're going to hop and like jump between the static background and then just me kind of being weird in my studio. The idea is with a lot of the other effects, it'll like look like I'm kind of phasing in and out of the scene is my intention. But we will see how that goes as we progress. I got a message. I am turning my phone on silent. I am on stream. But
Let's see. My YouTube studio is being weird. Just one moment, fellas. All right. For some reason, it seems I do not have the ability to view my own chat, and I'm unsure if there is one. But I don't know. All right, we're gonna roll with it. Yeah. All right. So first thing I want to do is now that I I basically just recorded one quick video where I wasn't in the scene and then just kind of screwing around. And then using the movie file in, we have this trim option. So I'm just trimming this video so that it doesn't have any of that empty shot from the beginning, and then trimming this so it should just be the beginning. But I need to make sure I have this correct. We'll pulse this. Yeah, so I do run across it, so I just need to trim the very beginning of that. Let's see if that was enough. No, that was not enough. Maybe 0.01. Let's see if that trims me out. Okay, maybe I can go a bit more. We'll try 0.4. And then see if that. Tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name. I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space. Yeah, but I need to cut this back slightly because I do pop in the shot. No tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name. I wanna see the name. I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space. No tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name. I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space. No tears on a pillowcase. Yeah, I've never used the loop crossfade. I do kind of change in the lighting, so I'm trying to crossfade in order to not make that so abrupt. I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. Yeah, so it looks like that does loop pretty all right. So next thing, I rendered out the drums individually, mainly because, I don't know, I have a lot of trouble sometimes when I make these more wackier sounding drums, getting it to identify the kick, the snare, and like my little hi-hat thing going on. So I just rendered them out as separate audio, and then everything is locked to the timeline so that it, and then the timeline length is a song so that I can just kind of scrub to any point. But yeah, anywhere I go, and then I can just go back to the very beginning. I find it a lot easier, like if I'm trying to get things right with the drums, if I get into a part of the song where they're not there, but I realize this song has it through the entirety, so that really doesn't matter. But yeah, so the first thing I want to do is get that motion where it's just chopping between the videos before we do really any of the effects. I need that kind of happening. So I wanted to do that with the kick. And doing that, I'm going to turn this audio down so I can have it play in the background and still talk. So for that, first, we're just going to actually... I was hoping I could make it mono in there, but I guess I can't. Turn this down a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I was hoping I could make this mono, or the audio tracks this mono, but I can't. So the first thing I'm going to do is just throw it into, well, actually, an envelope might just give me now, because I just want to deal with a singular, I want to deal with a singular channel. So I'll do this, And in the math, we're just going to combine our channels, average. And then from there, we want an envelope. And I just want this to be maximum values. And then I'm wondering, I believe it should work since it goes like completely silent. If I do a math between these two, I can normalize the range. If I divide the chops. Okay, that is not working the way that I wanted it to. So we're just going to take this envelope signal. Okay, I don't know why my brain's not working right now. I just need a way to convert this into a quick, maybe a logic. Does that work? Is it an analyze? Do an analyze into, maybe that's where I need it. It has been a minute since I've done audio reactive this way. Guys, let's be real. Touch design, or learning something is very interesting because if you don't continue to use it, you start to forget it. And the problem is, I try to do so many damn things in Touch Designer that I feel like if I'm not constantly using Touch Designer, I forget how to do 90% of the shit that I've taught myself. And that really stresses me out sometimes. But there's really nothing I can do about it. So I'm just gonna hopefully get this to work the way I want it to. Bam. Okay, there we go. So what I ended up having to do to get the exact signal or information I'm trying to extract is I just needed this little count right here where it's going to be a 1 whenever there's a kick and it's going to be a 0 when it's not. And so to do that, we just did some math to combine our two channels into one. We used an envelope to identify, or for the bounds, we set it to the signal power, so it's like the maximum value because I just needed a positive number. And then I sent that into an analyze, which will turn it from this multi-sampled channel into a single time slice. And then I use that so whenever it goes up for the kick, it's going to just immediately give us a 1 value. And from there, then we're just going to throw that into a count. And then we're gonna have that loop between 0 and 1. So it's just gonna every time the kick hits, it's gonna count 1. It's gonna hold at 1, and then it's gonna go back to 0, hold at 0, and then end that with a null. And so show you what that looks like here. And so that's that's our little on-off there. And what we want that information for is we have this switch here. If we go to 1, there's me, 0 not. And so we want to be able to basically, instead of using like a traditional video editor and then slicing videos to like do this effect where we're like looking at the transients of our, or like we're eyeballing transients of our drums to try to line up by like the beat. We're instead telling the computer how to look at our transients and then telling it to chop the video for us so that we can do a lot more in a lot less time. So then we just reference that there. And then if we play, shit in my mind, he's a decline, like 30 of me, you can fight, I'm making up shit in my mind,
Is it decline with 30 fight? I'm thinking of shit in my mind. Is it decline with 30
I think it's pretty cool already. Yeah, pretty interesting, I think. And it's already giving us some trouble, so I'm a little bit worried about that. It's probably, though, turn off my viewers for things I don't need. And I am streaming. Let me also, since I'm using, try turning that up a little bit.
I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see.
And so from here, now we can start doing some other effect ideas. And really, for that, that's really the hard part. What do we want to do? And I think I'm probably going to stick to the same sort of starting point and see if I can do something else kind of cool with it. But I want to do basically edge effects where it's just going to be an outline of everything and then use different colors and things like that to kind of do some ideas. And so for that, like right here, we can add an edge. And then for now, in our chain by the null, we're just going to throw in RGB key. So we have that black background. And right now we have our edge effect. We can dial it in a bit because this is a bit much with the white. If we turn up our black level, we can get rid of a lot of that noisiness. And then, yeah. And we can even play with like trying some other settings here, like red, green. Yeah, we'll just leave it at green. Well, actually, I wanted to do several of these edge effects, so I guess it would be cool to maybe try using different ones there. I know I do want to do different colors. I don't want to do red, green, or blue because at the end of the chain, I still want to use a similar effect that I did before where I just took this image filter here and then we're going to grab our RGB delay. We'll play with the settings more on it later. I just really like how this effect looks on this like edge effect. And so right now we'll go ahead and play just what this music video is looking like so far. I'm just going to make a few more edges as well.
I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see. I wanna know the name, I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see.
So already, like if we were just going, or like simplicity normally is king, and really we could probably just leave it with that white edge and then kind of like do a little bit more like post stuff, maybe just be simple like that. But I don't feel like ending right or anytime soon yet, so we are just going to keep doing wacky shit and make this borderline unwatchable and potentially unplayable on my computer. It's already kind of struggling, and that's kind of frustrating me. But there's nothing I can do about that yet. So we are just going to continue in the direction that we are moving. All right, so bring this bad boy down to... All right, and then for this, it would just be another one of those switches here. And then if we just grab all of these guys here, we can plug them into that and then take over that chain there. And then for now, let's go ahead and change these to the different ones we're going to do. We'll do red for this one, blue. I wonder what alpha would look like. It should just be all, yeah, it's just blank because there's no change in alpha. We'll do luminance for that one, and then we can do RGB maximum maybe. They're all just gonna give us a slightly different result on the edge effect, but then also I wanted to play around with potential colors. I know like that is a cool color. I know I want to do that one. So first we can just really go through our switches and just kind of change colors for things. colors that I know I want to use. Like I did like that yellow. The yellow looks really cool. And I might leave this middle one white. The white I think is the coolest with the RGB delay effect because you are just delaying a red channel, green channel, and blue channel like version of the image by a number of frames. And so if you're using a white outline, you get a perfectly red outline, green, and blue outline since they're all values 1. These other ones will produce varying results on that RGB delay simply because the color values are different, or they're not all 1. Oh, I should probably switch to the color I'm looking at too. Yeah, I want to do. This one was what? RGB maximum. Okay, so we're gonna. Because I liked that, I'm gonna put this back to RGB maximum. Bam. All right, we have all of our pretty different colors. And now we are basically just going to remake this chain. So let's just copy and paste it. Bring that up here. And then we are just going to bypass that chain. And then in the count, though, we're going to have to change that because we have from 0 to 5 as our inputs. So our count needs to be from 0 to 5. And now we can drag this onto our switch there. And if we go to our beginning, I seem to have accidentally plugged in the switch, that other switch to bring back the other one. So we technically need to be 0 to 4. There we go. This video looks not all that, or like not as, what if I sped it up like 3 times? And then if I speed it up, it's technically playing at 30 frames a second, right? If I'm playing that, will it say that? Well, its sample rate is 60. Yeah, I'm confused because wouldn't it technically be running at 30 FPS? Okay, well. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm thinking about it instead of just doing it, or like looking at it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our frames in half and drop this to 30 FPS. So I'm just gonna type this on my calc. Calc is short for calculator, by the way, just in case you didn't know. There we go. Well, that. Okay, so actually reducing the frame rate, that didn't help whatsoever. That made it much worse. Okay, we're going back. I forgot what the original frames were. I'm using the calc, guys. Oh, 11058. So reducing my FPS didn't help. Fun fact.
space, no tears on a pillowcase. I wanna know the name, I wanna see, I wanna know the name, I wanna know the name, I wanna see the face. I'm gonna fill the space, no tears on a pillowcase.
Okay, this is interesting. I would say I think it's truly interesting. I know I'm not going to use this, so I can get rid of that. I'm going to make these invisible and pretend that's going to help my frame rate. Next, I want to just do some different things to each one of these to make it a little bit more interesting. So like on this, I might add a displace because that doesn't guzzle my CPU. And then throw on like or actually maybe even just like sloped of the original or that image. So grab a slope of that. And then I'm just gonna tell this count to go up. Yeah, there we go. So we have this and it's looking really, really wacky already. But what we can do is, dare to try to add an audio analysis to this mix. Because now I do want an audio analysis for the parts I know it will work on, which is the low, mids, and highs. Though I don't actually know how it works. I just eyeball it and twist things and move things around until it actually gives me the result I'm looking for. So in theory, I kind of know what I'm doing with it. I'm figuring it out as I go, though. We'll turn on the low, mids, the highs, and then we're just going to grab a select so we can look at those. Change this to be low, mid, and high. So we're only looking at these values. Like, there should be no reason this jumps all the way up to like 2. Okay, so the first thing I want to do now is grab that select, or another select, so I can grab just the low frequencies, and then readjust my workspace so that everything isn't cascading into each other. Okay, you can go right here. You're going to be my highest select. Okay, and then so we're going to use this one. We're definitely going to have to rearrange. We are definitely going to have to rearrange it. Or maybe we won't. I'm still going to add a math for now, just in case I want to. And then if I don't need it, I will promptly delete it. So we're going to grab that. And so this displace, like if you look at it, it's like really grainy like this. But if we turn down this displace weight, well, if I turn it down by a larger amount, like we could do some wacky stuff where that's like moving, because if you go right back to 0, it's normal, and then you can start displacing it more and more. So if I just take this and link it to the low end, we can dynamically have it if we ever see it. So yeah, actually, probably the best way to demo it is to grab the image of it. Actually, we are just gonna bypass everything there and just. Never mind, we are grabbing it and putting it into. But yeah, so what I'm trying to demonstrate with this displace thing is every time you hear that like bass start going, that like displace weight goes from 0 and it starts making everything look all kind of watery is the best way to describe it. So yeah, All right, it looks like I'm gonna be having some trouble here soon. We are already um, heavily lagging. What can we do to up our performance? I wonder. Considering I am, well, really, it is. I think it has to do with I don't know if the movie player, like I feel like it. I don't know because I've anytime I use or like I've messed with the speed or anything, I start getting some really like I don't know, some issues. But there's not a lot we can do with that at this moment. Really, we can just hope that the audio. I mean, I can try changing this to our ASIO driver, but I think that might actually make it worse. Let's see. Okay, so that was the problem. I was thinking it would have been better to leave it out of ASIO, but that was wrong. That was stupid of me. Okay, so now we're in ASIO. We are back in business. Life is good. We're gonna plug this bad boy in. Okay, that was a false okayness. We just got glitches again, but it's still working for the time being. So we may not do a ton, or like we may. I may skip the audio reactives or other audio reactive stuff. I might just do a few post production things because I really, or I guess, yeah, less is more on this one because my computer is telling me, dude, if you keep adding more control parameters, you are going to have a bad time. So we are going to do it this way. I might steal a few more things of logic later on in these chains, but that won't do too much to the computer because a lot of the or like I'm going to grab it after a lot of this processing is done, like grab it from probably the logics where it's just 0 and 1 signals. Actually, yeah, that's what we'll do. Or oh wait, no, we got rid of the displace too because the displace. So we can still use those effects, just not the displace because the displace absolutely wrecks my CPU. Okay, so let's think of cool effect ideas we can do then. Hey, I'm dog and a chicken sheep that I like. Okay, I think it would be cool to dynamically play with this horizontal pixels and like because I really like that kind of like movement. So I want to do that with the kick, but when I another cool aspect, I guess, to touch designer music videos as opposed to doing it in like a video editor is there can be a performance aspect when you're recording it. So like when I go to export this, technically you don't hit like an export or well. There is an export function in here, but the way I do it is you use a movie file out top, one of these guys here that is just designed to record it, whatever you input into it. And so to record a music video, the length of time it takes to export is the length of your song. You start it and you record it out that way. And so in doing that, you can actually have a little bit of performance elements. And for that, it's not really much of a performance element. It's really what I'm about to add is basically or the ability to turn on and off an effect by using our computer keyboard here. So if I do a keyboard in chop, every time I press the one key, you're going to see that it turns on here. And so we're going to use that to mess with this pixelate function. So right now it is at 1. So what I want to do is I want to plug this into a count. And then I want to loop it from 0 to 1. And then we are going to perform multiplication. So right now, this turns into a 1 every time the kick hits. And right now, this is a 1, and it'll hold or for whatever key you last press. So we could use multiplication to make this an on-off switch. So if we grab another math, we can then plug these together, multiply our chops. So if we look here, we're getting a kick, we're getting a 1, but now if I press 1, and that's how you turn it on and off. But what we want to do now is we want to rearrange this. So we want it from 0 to 1 to be 1 to like 7. So it'll be either a 1 or a 7. And then we can add, well, we don't need a lag, do we? We can do an Alt-N here. And then go to our pixelate, drag that value to reference. And now my apologies, we need to multiply here. Okay, I'm messing up somewhere. That I know. There's a few more steps to this I'm realizing than I just made. Okay, so we need it to be 1. So if yeah, I just needed to add a math. I couldn't use that same math. And just order of operation stuff, PEMDAS, I don't know. We're going to change that from 1 to 7. So now, oh, I remember the other issue because that makes it so, okay. Let me think about this. Okay, so we need to rearrange it, but I don't know. This is such a simple problem. I don't know why my brain is overcomplicating it. We have. Let's think this through. I'm going to take a different approach on it, actually. So we're going to disconnect this. We're just going to build the network differently. So we have this where it's taking that one, and then we're going to rearrange that 1 to 7. And then I'm going to create an alternative path. So we're going to create a constant that is just a 0. And then we are going to create a switch swap these, plug that in, and this constant is a 1, not a 0. And now we can take this Alt-N, create a null, go to our switch here. Bam, okay, now we have our on-off switch for the effect. Yeah, so now that switch works. So like you can see down here, like as I press like 1, it'll come on. But yeah, so that's a good portion of probably all the audio reactive stuff I'm gonna do. I might now just go in and do some like little bit of post processing. So like on this, I might add in a bloom. And then you can play around and experiment with like the order of things. So if like I plug in there, I can see what it would look like if we swap the order. Bloom or RGB to lay the bloom. I feel like it's struggling more. I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels like it's lagging a lot worse. So I'm gonna go back this way. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. Okay, what if to this part? I like to add. I like to use Luma blurs because that can like allow you to focus or like make it feel like there's like a weird depth of field kind of effect and focus on specific spots. Some of these though they have been warped, so where we'd want them to focus are different. What I'm thinking, yeah. So we're gonna go off on a little side tangent thing to clean this up. So what I want to do is I want to create some masks for these to create the depth of field kind of thing, or Luma blur effect. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to create a circle. And then we're going to look at the circle here. And so what's cool is first we're just going to do under. So we can see the circle. We're going to use the circle to create where our focus is. So we can go over here. Like focus that right over there, and then we can bring down the radius a little bit. soften a ton. And then we actually need to flop it because where it's black, it's going to be focused. Where it's white, it's going to blur. And then we need to create a background of white. And then we can go over here and we can just set this to parent panel size and then disconnect it from that. And then bam, so we have one of our Luma blur maps. Because these two can be the same because they're the exact same, but these other two need to be different. So we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this and create our second Luma blur mask for this guy. Yeah, so really we can just get away with, I think if I make that negative, will be, yeah, bam. So now we have our other mask there. We can just disconnect that. Create a third mask here, and we're gonna grab this flip. Oh, what do you know? That's actually still a good spot for it. Actually, well, since I already went through this trouble, we're gonna move this up slightly. Bam. All right, so we have that mask. Damn it. And I'm just gonna add that to remind me that I used that twice. And then we need one more circle. So we're gonna delete that. Grab this. No, I'm sorry, we need two more circles. We're going to make the radius smaller. And then we are gonna duplicate this. And then disconnect. This one, actually, we're going to turn off the background alphas or well, actually, this will work. Because then we're going to comp these two together. And this is going to be over. Bam, now we have all of our little masks. So how we're going to use them is we're going to bring them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to create a switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then add in over here, Luma blur. And bam. So yeah, if we bypass this, everything's in focus and not. So yeah, I think that would be kind of cool because it'll like the little focal point will bounce. Well, we'll see if it's cool in a second. Actually, I hope it is. We're gonna grab this, just kind of reorganize everything a little bit. And bam. All right. Let's. Oh wait. We also then need to use this same reference here for the other switch on this one so that they match where they need to be at any given time. All right. And then the last thing we'll add onto this little music video here is perfect. We're all done. Now, I want it to have kind of like a film grain or very like tiny amount of film grain. So you can do that with white noise. I just turn the period all the way down, and then I start playing with the amplitude, just a very light amplitude, and then usually I will kind of adjust the exponents a bit too. And then if you go into transform, and then you just do a little Python abs time dot seconds, your noise will like move a little bit. And yeah, I think yeah, that would be a really cool music video right there. I think I really liked how that Luma Blur effect came in. I was considering not actually doing it because I was like, I don't even know if that's really going to do much, but I feel like that really like adds like my eyes know where to look. It feels like. Uh, But yeah, normally on one of these, I would then export it out live on stream and like do the recording. I don't think this is gonna handle that all that well though. So what I will do though is we're gonna put it full screen, and it may actually run a little bit easier if it's not like having all these nodes and stuff out and about. So let's give our music video a good final watch here, guys. I'm gonna move myself out so you can see better. Um, just one moment. All right, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. Time to save it for the first time today.
Oh, that's not what I wanted in my copy and paste. Let me find this project real quick. Real perfect. Oh, God damn it. Well, I meant to go to this folder. I'll call it Pillowcase, the name of the song. Bam! All right, guys, that was an excellent stream. We had a lot of laughs, a lot of cries. There we had our ups and downs. Real adventure today. I will probably be sitting here for a little bit longer, rendering this out as a music video and posting it directly after I'm done.